Good afternoon, all. Can you guys please confirm if you guys can hear me? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Unfortunately, I was expecting all of you to join. Today's critical topic, crucial one, very important. However, few of you are not able to join due to some of them due to medical emergency, some other work, but few people are not able to join, so we have less quorum. But still, we are going ahead with the today's session. And a few of you were getting late, hence we started 10 minutes later, but we are not cutting down the time on our sessions. We will extend for 10 minutes, right? Because we will require this much of time for to complete the migration. So before we proceed with migration practical, I would like to revise whatever I have explained previous week in terms of theoretical part. I'll quickly revise, so it will be a good refresher for you guys, and you will understand. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. I saw Zareen did ASA practical. One of you, I think, uh, Yusuf also did, and Yusuf Khan, I'm not talking about you, Yusuf Jod. Sufyan also did it once. So only few of you did it, guys. Remaining, I'm not sure if you guys have done it because you did not share it. So I'm assuming you have not done it. But if you have not done it, I request you, please do that. Please complete ASR topic. Please complete backup topic. It is very useful. These topics are very useful, very important topics. You will get many questions, and once you do this, and then only you will get good confidence to work on migration, right? So please complete your practicals. Even if you're sharing with me, it's okay. Even if you're not sharing, but do it at your end at least. Okay, so let's get started, guys. Migration, I have already covered the theory part. Still, uh, before we do the practical part today, I will revise it for you guys, so you will have a better understanding. Before that, let me quickly explain it to you what we are going to do today. This is my machine. It is on AWS. Why have I colored this like this uh, weird color? Because when I'm performing some steps, so I want you to be very clear, or I want this to be very clear in your mind, that which step is being performed where. Because in training, it's impossible for me, or for anyone online, it's impossible for me to show you कि यार ये आपका data center का machine है, ये यहाँ पर. I mean, you guys will get confused. Though I will repeat it multiple times, I will let you know that this needs to be performed on this machine, this needs to be performed on that machine. कौन सा वाला Azure पे होगा, कौन सा वाला on-prem machine पे होगा. But still, everything will be done on the same screen. So you may get confused. Hence, I have come up with this idea to use color coding. So this yellow color, whenever you see this machine, and if I am performing something on this machine, it should be in your mind that we have a machine on AWS. It is on AWS for me. It could be on-prem also. Okay, it could be on-prem and it could be AWS. Both are fine. Next thing, in this machine, how are we doing this? In this machine, I told you about virtualization. I hope all of you remember. So I'm not migrating this whole machine, this one machine. Isko migrate nahi karna hai mujhko. This is very simple task. If I want to migrate one machine, that's very simple. But what are we doing in this one, in this machine? This is very huge machine. It has 32 GB RAM. It has 1 TB of hard disk. It has, I think, 28 CPUs. So what am I doing in this machine? I am virtualizing this machine. I will be using virtualization. I could use vSphere, or I could use uh, hypervisor, Hyper-V, which is Microsoft's project. So in this one, I have used Hyper-V. In Hyper-V, I have created two machines. One is Windows machine and another one is Linux machine. Now these machines, these machines, they are not. I do have some applications on these two machines, but they are not on internet as of now. They are only for internal usage. While migrating, we can do the same thing. While when we do the migration, we can do the we can migrate the machine and keep it as an internal application. You simply have to avoid public IP. Don't assign a public IP. It is an internal. But if you want to make this application publicly available, then you will have to assign a public IP. So that is what we are going to do today, because for you guys to practice and test, it needs to be a public application. If it is not a public application, then you will not understand whether it got migrated or not. So let me quickly explain it to you. As I told you that this is AWS machine or on-prem machine, consider both. I have virtualized that machine using Hyper-V. It's Microsoft's product. We can virtualize using vCenter also. It's up to you, but I recommend Hyper-V as of now. Okay. Under Hyper-V, I have created two machines. One is a Windows machine, Windows server. One is Linux server. And these two machines I will be migrating. And I can log into these machines also. Okay, look at this. These are actual machines. So don't get confused कि मैं कहाँ पर क्या run कर रहा हूँ, right? Hence, I've used the color coding and everything. This one you will see, and I have given the name also. See, this is UT-Kloud application. This is your application server, and the blue color means this is your virtual machine. So what am I running on this machine? What am I running on on-prem machine? Please be focused about it. If you don't understand, go ahead and watch the video again, write down the steps. And if you don't understand, ask me. But don't ask me just because you are not attentive, right? It distract others. If you don't understand something, then ask that what is the logic behind it? Why are we doing this? And that too I will explain only if it is related to you. We are not going behind the rational. ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है, ASRE क्यों use कर रहा है, कोई और dedicated service क्यों नहीं? We don't have to worry about it, right? So these are the things, prerequisite I wanted to clear. Now this one, this Windows server and this Linux server, these two servers we have. Okay, these two server we can log in everything. But to migrate, do I have to log into individual machine, or do I have to log into just one machine? How to do that? We are going to see that. Before that, let me show you what are the applications we have available on these machines. So on the Windows machine, I have this is a private IP. You guys will not be able to access this. But look at the application. Once I migrate it to Azure, then I will make it public, and you guys will all will be able to check that. I mean, there's no application as such actually, but just to check. Okay, this is what it is. This is on Windows machine. Look at this Windows server and UT-Kloud.in application hosted on data center server. It is for your reference, I have mentioned. And then if I go for Linux machine, to Linux machine, I have assigned IP address 06. Look at this, Ubuntu machine, and this is UT-Kloud page on Linux server. So now you know these two applications we have. What is the aim? We have to migrate these two machines to cloud. I said that I'll revise it, but I was thinking to go ahead with the practical because practical takes time. I hope you understand when I say ASR is involved, so replication bhi hone wala hai iska, right? The replication will be done. So do you guys want me to do the practical, and when it is replicating, that time I explain that, or do you want me to explain the theory part first? Though we have covered the theory part in last session, do you want me to revise the theory part and then come to practical? How do you guys want it?
Start with the practical.
Okay, let's do that then. What about others, guys? Anyone thinks that theory would be helpful for you? People who attended last session. If you missed last session, if you're asking to cover theory, I'm not talking about that. People who attended the last session, completed the theory part, or watched the video, completed the theory part, and still think theory should be done quickly. Don't worry, even if we have to spend today's session, tomorrow's we'll spend, even if we have to extend, we'll do that. But this is very crucial topic. So don't hesitate. I am happy to take practical first. I'm happy to take theory part first. It's completely fine. We can do the theory, then we can do practical. Till the time it is being synchronized, you guys can ask questions. Up to you. I leave it up to you. How do you guys want it? Okay, so if no one is saying, we'll go ahead with the practical. Okay. So guys, in practical, what I have done is I have already synced the machine and everything. Still, I will be showing it to you in detail. Okay, so this is the machine which I have on my on-premises. Let's say this is the on-premises machine in which I have hypervisor. Hypervisor could be vCenter or Hyper-V, both. In our case, we have Hyper-V. The aim is to migrate these machines. However machines, how many machines do we have here? वो सारे के सारे machines हमको वहां पर move करना है cloud पे. That is our aim. So let's get started. Before I actually show you the practical, let me show some images to you. I open the portal. Very basic thing. If I want to migrate something, it's I need to create an Azure migrate project, right? Here, if I go here, okay, this is the existing project. I will explain it to you later. Let me show it to you how to create it. But this is the one on which we are going to work, because assessment itself takes a day. ये सब मैंने परसों already कर रखा है, right? If I start the assessment today, we won't even get our data to look at that. Right? So we will be working on this, but I will be showing you all the steps here. Is it clear, guys? Do not get confused. This is the project we are finalizing, but this is the project where we will see all these steps, right? So I'm creating a new project. I'll call it as a dummy project, because we are not going to complete this project. We are going to complete that project. Project name also dummy. Now geography. What do you understand by this geography? Here it is not asking where do you want to host your data. It is asking where is your data center. See, the metadata collected from this on-premises environment, it's stored in a location in this geography. You can still access machines from migrating to different location. Now, when I select USA, when would I select USA? If my data center is in USA, then only I will select USA. Right? तो किसी रीजन के आसपास वो ये सारा का सारा डेटा जो है ये करेगा, लाइन वगैरह, कनेक्टिविटी एटसेट्रा, वो सब होगा. As of now, you're not deciding whether you want to go to East US, West US, kahan par jana hai. That all options you will have later. You can select India here and later you can decide East US. You can do that, but we'll never do such things. We will always select the country here where our data center is. In my case, which is my data? This is my data center. इसके अलावा मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है. This is all I have. Right? So where is it? Would you guys know where is it? By any chance? Looking at the screen or with the OS, would you guys come to know? Is there any option that end user can check where the server is hosted? Forget
It's
on
on-prem.
AWS and on Azure. Sorry, what was that?
It's on-prem, no?
Yeah, no, it is on AWS. Chalo, on-prem bhi hai.
Okay.
So my question is to you, is there any way that if you guys do not know from the architect team, is there any way where you can run some command या कुछ चलाकर देख सको कि कहाँ पर hosted है? Be it AWS, Azure or on-prem. Can you guys check the location? That is my question is. Will the end user have this facility? Forget in AWS. Let's assume this is in Azure. Do you have an option that if you do not have access to portal, if I just give you the IP address, can you guys guess or give me the correct answer कि server कहाँ पर hosted है? Is it possible or not? In Azure, forget AWS. वैसे दोनों के लिए आंसर सेम है. It is not possible, guys. End user will never have all these details कि कहाँ पर hosted है, कहाँ पर होगा. End user will have only OS level data. Now, because I have deployed this machine, I know it is in AWS में, ये US के एक region में है. AWS के भी US में regions होते हैं कुछ. This is in one of the regions in US. Hence, I would be selecting US here. So here we are always selecting कहाँ पर हमारा data center है. Okay. Now in advance, what do we have? How am I connecting the Azure subscription or Azure VNet, जहाँ पे मैं सब कुछ migrate करने वाला हूँ, to my data center? How am I doing that? When I say public endpoint, it is purely on internet. You don't have to do anything. Just select public endpoint and you will be connected. You'll get connected simply. If you select private endpoint, then you will have to, how do you think once the private endpoint is there, how do you connect your on-prem and Azure network?
Using the Azure connection.
Express route.
Yes, express route is one answer, but we have not seen express route and there is no way we can do the practical, because in express route, we require help from telecom sector also. We'll have to approach one of the telecom industry, one of the telecom operator. They will give you the line connectivity codes, etc. It's a huge process. We have not seen that and there is no way we can see that in lab. Sorry, what do you mean by connection? Using connection, what do you mean by that? Uzayf, I think you answered, right?
Yes, Azure Backbone Network.
No, do you connect your on-prem data center and Azure using Azure Backbone Network?
Mm,
VPN.
VPN, yes, simple.
okay.
We saw that, right? VPN connectivity.
Yes.
Any confusion, guys? Others? Are you getting it? Because I told you that everything we have learned, we are going to use here. So yes, VPN, we'll be using VPN. Once we connect the VPN, here you will select the same virtual network जहां पे आपने सब कुछ आपका VPN वगैरह का ये कर रखा है, ठीक है? And then you click on create. But in our case, we are not doing that. Why? Because ये मैंने AWS पे ये कर रखा और यहाँ पर मुझको जाके VPN नहीं कॉन्फ़िगर करना था, because we do have an option for internet और VPN हमने अलग से as a topic कवर कर रखा है, right? So I'm not doing that. What am I saying here then? Public endpoint. Otherwise, इसमें AWS और Azure में भी VPN connectivity I could have done it, right? But I did not want to do that because we have covered a VPN topic separately. So I'm not showing that to you. If you want, you guys can do that on Azure to Azure if you want. Okay. So I select public endpoint, then I create. What am I doing? I'm creating a project. As of now, I'm just creating a project. कोई assessment नहीं है, कुछ नहीं हुआ है. By the way, why till the time this project is being done, I'll show a few things to you. Now, the assessment which we do via tool, it's a migration assessment. But when giving the answer, right, you also talk about pre-migration assessment. This one, do you guys remember? I explained this pre-migration assessment where we focus on cost, services, provider, cloud center of excellence team takes care of this and it takes months, everything. Do you guys remember this, guys? If not, please watch the video. I did explain this. That's what is the pre-migration assessment. So pre-migration assessment and the migration assessment which we do on the tool, those are two different things. Pre-migration assessment will always be done by your architect team. And what do we use? I'm just sharing some examples with you. This is not the complete document. This is nothing. I'm just sharing few examples with you. Let me check if I have those documents here. I think the documents were here. Yeah, here it is. So let's say if I have to do app assessment, this is the kind of document which I'll use. This is very small document and it is just an example. You will see a huge document. इससे बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा और बहुत ज़्यादा questions आपको मिलता है. But what kind of survey we do or what kind of assessment we do? Application name, right? Okay. Business purpose. What is the purpose of this application? Business, how critical it is it very critical, is it fine, it's okay, medium, whatever we decide, whatever they say, and they will explain who's the business owner. In this case, who's the app owner, who takes care of that. They could be different person, they could be same person. Who's SME, who's from development side, who's from app side, who's from networking side, etc. All these details, right? All these details will capture. Then do we have the architecture of this application? Do we have the documents, right? If there are, we will ask them and we'll go through and read them properly. You guys don't have to do this. I'm just explaining it to you. Don't worry. You guys need to focus on the steps which I'm doing on the portal. You need to remember those steps, right? And you need to just know this. That's it. Okay, then does your application has multiple sites or region, frequently, how frequency of the use by end user, these kind of questions we will ask और इसके बेस पे हम जो है planning करते हैं, right? DMZ है, public facing है, what is it? Look at this. These are the questions. This is available for you guys also. Whenever you want, feel free to go ahead and check this document. This is one of the documents. Again, I have another document, and these are just sample documents. Actual documents are way bigger than this, way bigger. Look at this. These are the questions. Performance, SLA, कितना downtime expect कर सकते हैं, कितना what is the background, services, dependency, many things we do ask, and as I told you again, this is a very small sample, right? So this is the assessment you have to talk about in pre-migration. Do not get confused between the assessment which we do. Okay, after this assessment, we decide, by the way, what kind of migration we have to do, right? Now, mainly there are only two. One is re-architecture, or you can call it re-platform, and re-hosting. Re-hosting is also known as lift and shift. Now, the sample resumes which I have shared with you guys, there I have mentioned 6 hours of migration, that I'm aware of 6 hours. So when you are saying the 6 hours, you should be able to explain what are those 6 hours. So let me explain to you. This is for AWS, this is for Azure, बट आप मिक्स एंड मैच भी करके बोल दो, किसी भी तरह से बोल दो, इट डजंट कोई खास बहुत फर्क पड़ता है नहीं, ठीक है, बिकॉज दे लुक एट द कॉन्सेप्ट. और यहाँ पर एक पिक्चर भी रखी है मैंने, इफ यू वांट. सो व्हाट इज रीहोस्टिंग? व्हाट आर 6 आवर्स ऑफ माइग्रेशन? वन ऑफ देम इज रीहोस्टिंग. ये आर से शुरू होता है सारे, इसलिए वो 6 आवर बोलते हैं उसको, बाकी ऐसे कोई बड़ा टेक्निकल टर्म नहीं है. रीहोस्टिंग, इफ यू जस्ट वांट टू मूव एज इट इज, मतलब अब जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं ना, ये होगा हमारा रीहोस्टिंग. आई हैव माय 2 सर्वर्स हियर. इन 2 सर्वर्स को मैं एज इट इज वर्चुअल मशीन पूरा का पूरा वहां पर मूव कर रहा हूं. दिस इज आर लिफ्ट एंड शिफ्ट और रीहोस्टिंग, दोनों भी सेम नाम है. यू कैन कॉल इट लिफ्ट एंड शिफ्ट, और यू कैन कॉल इट, हियर इट इज लिफ्ट एंड शिफ्ट, और यू कैन कॉल इट रीहोस्टिंग. नो चेंजेस, नथिंग, सिंपल माइग्रेशन. वहां पर जाके मेरा ऐप शुरू हो जाएगा. बट इज इट वेरी यूजफुल थिंग? नो, बिकॉज वहां पर भी जाकर अगर आपको मशीन ये करनी है, मेंटेन करनी है, तो एक ओएस टीम चाहिए होगी. आई मीन यू आर नॉट सेविंग अ लॉट. क्लाउड पे आपका तभी फायदा होगा when you move your machines to PaaS services. कि ठीक है, यहाँ पर I do have these 2 applications, these 2 websites on this. I don't want to move servers. Let's simply move applications. मतलब वेब ऐप को यूज करो और डायरेक्टली एप्लीकेशन वहां पर मूव कर दो. सर्वर चाहिए ही नहीं मुझको, ओएस टीम का काम ही खत्म हो गया. सो आई कैन फायर 5 people और आई विल सेव सम मनी. उस तरह से, right? We'll come to that, but that is not rehosting. Rehosting, simple as it is, जो मशीन है उसको उठा के वहां पर रख दिया. That's your rehosting. Refactoring और replatforming और repackaging, whatever you want to call it. आप इसमें से कुछ भी बोल दो, चल जाएगा. Okay? और ये exactly rehosting जैसा है, बहुत ही छोटे, little bit twist and tweak. For example, it is server 2008, उस पे service pack 1 install नहीं है, you cannot migrate it to. When you do the assessment, कौन सा वाला assessment? Pre-migration नहीं, जब migration का assessment करोगे ना, proper वाला, I'll show it to you. That time it will give you कि आपका ये सर्वर में ये पैच लगाने की जरूरत है, then only you will be able to migrate it, otherwise you won't be able to do it. और अगर वो SQL में माइग्रेट कर रहे हो आप, तो SQL में व्हेन यू कीप इट ऑन प्रेम, वहां पे आप विंडोज ऑथेंटिकेशन से भी रख सकते हो कि विंडोज वाला आईडी SQL पे भी चल जाए. Azure पे वो नहीं करता है, तो इट विल सिंपली आस्क यू कि गो अहेड एंड प्लीज चेंज दैट सेटिंग एंड देन यू आर एलिजिबल टू migrate. So refactoring or re-platform or repackaging, it's very small level, very small scale twist and tweaks, and then you will be able to shift your machines. Again, almost similar. Re-architect here. So here you will have to do everything from scratch. I mean, whatever machine or application you have coded or you have created, you'll have to reimagine that how the application will be developed considering the cloud methods. Because if it is an old application, you will not be able to move that to cloud. Maybe those security layers are not supporting, TLS versions are not supporting, the language in which the application is coded, that is very old and it's not supported in cloud. बहुत सारे issues हो सकते हैं, right? There could be n number of issues जिसकी वजह से आपको पूरा का पूरा एप्लीकेशन को री-आर्किटेक्ट करना पड़े. एंड दिस इज द कॉस्टलीस्ट वे इनिशियली, बिकॉज यहाँ पर सिर्फ आप लोग इन्वॉल्व नहीं होंगे, डेवलपर होगा, डेवलपमेंट का आर्किटेक्ट टीम होगा, उनका एप्लीकेशन टीम होगा, बहुत सारे लोग इन्वॉल्व हो जाएंगे और पूरा का पूरा एप्लीकेशन ऑलमोस्ट न्यू लिखा जाएगा, बट स्टिल डेटा पुराना ही हो जाएगा. हेंस इट इज कॉल्ड री-आर्किटेक्ट. ओके, देन रीबिल्ड. रीबिल्ड को आप कंप्लीटली फ्रॉम स्क्रैच, मतलब उस डेटा को भी यूज ना करो, कंप्लीटली फ्रॉम स्क्रैच जो है आप फिर से Azure के फीचर ये करते हुए बना दो. सिंपल. Are you guys getting the difference between re-architect and rebuild? Re-architect में आप स्टिल आपका डेटा यूज कर रहे हो, कुछ ना कुछ वहां से पिक कर रहे हो, उतने ही चीजों को आप ये कर रहे हो जो नेसेसरी है. Getting it? Rebuild में आप स्क्रैच से सब कुछ नया बना रहे हो, मे बी डायरेक्टली Azure पे ही बना दोगे आप. Is it clear, guys? Rehost, refactor, re-architect, and rebuild. Is it clear to you?
Yes.
Any doubt? Anyone else?
रीबिल्ड में डेटा कॉपी नहीं होगा, मतलब इसमें शुरू से ही पूरा बनाना है.
Right, डेटा भी नहीं करेंगे हम लोग. I mean, if that is a requirement कि उसी को कंटिन्यू करना है तब करेंगे. Otherwise, we'll skip that also. कि कुछ हो सकता है ऐसे कि आज न्यू एप्लीकेशन बना लो, यहाँ से कंटिन्यू करते हैं और लेगेसी एप्लीकेशन को कुछ दिन रखेंगे, बाद में उसका डेटा जो भी एक कंप्लायंस का ये होगा रखते हैं, उसके बाद उस डेटा को डिलीट कर देंगे. इट कुड बी बोथ. वहां से आप डेटा भी ले सकते हो. फीचर्स में भी यू आर नॉट टेकिंग एनीथिंग. यहाँ पर मतलब रीबिल्ड में आप पूरा स्क्रैच से बना रहे हो. चलिए अगर डेटा जरूरी है तो यहाँ से स्क्रैच से बना के बस उस डेटा को ले लो, लेकिन वहां से कोई फीचर, कोई कंपोनेंट, कोई कोडिंग का पुराना ये कुछ नहीं ले रहे हो आप. क्लियर टू एवरीवन गाइस? Guys, yes, no, maybe any doubt?
Yes, Sohail. It's clear.
Replace. Difference between rebuild and replace. Rebuild में आप still application बना रहे हो. Replace में क्या करते हो? Let's say that I have an application on my server which is hosted. What does it do for me? It does the some analytical job. It does for me. आई एम पुटिंग सम डेटा. मेरा अपना पर्सनल एप्लीकेशन है, वो पर्सनल एप्लीकेशन उस पर एनालिसिस रन करता है और मुझको रिपोर्ट देता है. आई हैप्पी विथ इट. अच्छा चल रहा है, बट अभी वो काफी पुराना हो गया है एंड आई वांट टू मूव इट टू क्लाउड. सो आई कैन ईदर डू रीहोस्टिंग, or I can make some changes, refactoring, or I can re-architect that, or I can rebuild it from scratch. ये सारे ऑप्शन है. पर उससे अलावा भी एक ऑप्शन है. When Azure is there, Azure says what features do you have in your application? Feature 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, why do you want to move your application? Why don't you take our application? For example, BI, let's say if it is a BI and reporting tool, so Power BI, Zoho Analytics. Why don't you take our tool? Why don't you take, I mean, this is not Microsoft's tool, but it is available on cloud. Why don't you take one of these tools? So whatever 10 features you have in your machine, we are providing those 10 features, plus we are giving you 3 extra features. Plus you don't even have to migrate anything. So this is your replace. I mean, you're replacing you are replacing your application with one of the application which is available on cloud as a software as a service. For example, I have a storage service जहां पे कुछ नहीं करते मेरे यूजर सारे, बस रोज आकर एक एक्सेल फाइल सेव करते हैं अपना सेल्स का डेटा वगैरह, एंड इट हार्डली क्रॉसेस 100 GB. तो इससे बेटर व्हाट विल आई डू कि यार मैं गूगल ड्राइव का पेड वर्जन ले लेता हूँ, वैसे ही मुझको मिल जाएगा 1 TB. ये हुआ मेरा रिप्लेसमेंट. वो सर्वर वगैरह मेंटेन करने की मुझको जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी. why was I maintaining server? मुझको ऑनलाइन कॉपी चाहिए थी, everyone should be able to access, ये सब मुझको गूगल ड्राइव में वैसे ही मिल रहा है, right? So this is what replacement is. Then retain and retire, very simple. After the pre-migration assessment which architect team does, उसके बाद ये सब करने के बाद ऐसे लगता है कि यार ये एप्लीकेशन को मूव करने में ही इतना पैसा लग जाएगा. There are two charges. One is capex, one is opex. I'll write it for you if you want. Opex and capex. Capex is capital expenditure जो आपका मूवमेंट में लगेगा. आर्किटेक्ट टीम जो डिजाइन करेगा उसमें कितना पैसा लग रहा है, हाउ मच आर यू पेइंग टू योर आर्किटेक्ट्स. देन उसके बाद आप जो मूवमेंट करने वाले हाउ मच आर यू पेइंग टू योर इंजीनियर्स. उसके बाद कोई लाइसेंसिंग लगने वाला है क्या, अज्योर का कितना, ये सब मिला के एक वन टाइम जो मूवमेंट है वो हुआ आपका कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर. हाउ मच आर यू स्पेंडिंग इन दैट. एंड ओपेक्स, operational expenditure. Use these two words in your interview, guys. Very powerful words. Okay, so capex and opex. ऑपरेशनल खर्चा कितना होगा इसका, हर महीने का 10,000 का बिल आने वाला है. बट एट द आर्किटेक्ट लेवल व्हेन वी डू द असेसमेंट, हम ये सब चेक कर चुके हैं कि यार करंटली आप इस सर्वर पे हार्डली यू आर स्पेंडिंग $2,000. इफ यू गो टू अज्योर इंक्लूडिंग कैपेक्स एंड ओपेक्स, वो खर्चा आपका 5 साल तक हो जाएगा 5,000. टुडे यू आर स्पेंडिंग 2,000. अगर इसको मैं इन्फ्लेशन वगैरह को कंसीडर कर भी लेता हूँ, सब करता हूँ, यू आर हार्डली स्पेंडिंग 3,000. When you go to cloud, you will be spending 5,000 a month, which is not a good deal. What will we do then? We'll retain. No changes as of now. We'll revisit. And it could be because of budget also. Maybe it's a good deal. What am I saying here? Okay, fine, you are spending a lot of money now, but in long run, it is useful for me, for you. As an architect, I'm suggesting this to you. But what company says, fine, it's okay. But as of now, we don't have budget. Maybe next year we'll plan to do that. So retain it and we'll revisit to it. Then retire, it's simple. Let's say you have replaced some application. So what are you going to do with your server? You retire it. Retire means decommission. उस application को वहां पर बंद कर दो, कोई workaround आप चला रहे हो. For example, this one I told you. Let's say आपका कोई analytical वाला application था inbuilt, आपने इसको हटा के Zoho use करो, you are happy with that, you retire your server. Simple. Same things we have here. थोड़े बहुत name वगैरह change हो गए, and same diagram we have here. Is it clear to everyone? Any doubt, any question? Meanwhile, our project is ready, but we only have 5 minutes, so we'll start the practical in next session. So you guys have 4 minutes. If you guys have any questions, any doubts, please do ask.
What is done in assessment tool?
Sorry? Sorry, what was
What
that?
is done in the assessment tool?
We'll
You
cover
said
that.
that you
We'll cover
didn't.
that. We'll cover that. Don't worry. After break, we are doing that. In second session, we are going to do this assessment and then migration. The assessment which I just explained, that has nothing to do with engineers, platform engineers. That is pre-migration assessment, which your architect team does. This is the assessment which you guys will do. So this I'm going to show you in detail. I will explain it to you. Don't worry. So any questions till what I explained till now? Any question in that? This case, yes, no, maybe any doubts, any questions, anything you did not understand? Okay, I'll take that as a no then.
Soil bhai,
Yes,
can you just explain the fifth R?
fifth one, retain. That is the very simple. I just explained, right?
Replace.
Oh, sorry, replace. Look at this. Here I was looking at retain. So, and there is no, by the way, guys, there is no order. There is nothing. Don't unnecessary stress your mind. कि इस order में याद करना है, यहाँ पर करना है. There's nothing. Okay. Replace, it's replace you said, right?
Yes.
Let's say that I have one storage server, which I'm using. So all my sales representative, they are updating the data online. I have a server, एक डेटाबेस सर्वर बना दिया मैंने उसको, एंड वहां पर कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, बस लोग उसमें आकर अपना एक एक्सेल फाइल को अपडेट करते हैं. टुडे आई कॉन्टेक्टेड दीज मेनी पीपल, इतने लोगों ने अपॉइंटमेंट दिया, इतने मैंने पिच किए, इतना सेल हुआ, दैट्स इट एंड यू सेव इट. इस टाइप का मेरा एक एप्लीकेशन है, जस्ट इमेजिन. ठीक है, which is running on prem. उसके लिए मुझको एक सर्वर चलाना पड़ रहा है. Now I'm planning to migrate that server to Azure. So at the time of pre-migration, my architect team will say that why do you even want to move your server? क्योंकि वहां जाके भी आप एक सर्वर मेंटेन करोगे. Why don't you simply use Google Drive? और for that matter, अगर Microsoft का प्रोडक्ट देना तो OneDrive. Google Drive में you are getting same feature. वहां पर आप अपना एक एक्सेल रख सकते हो. आप लोग ऑनलाइन, like you people update the file, attendance file, जहां पे मैंने सारे यूजर्स बना रखे हैं, right? If I did not have a Google Drive, if we did not have Google Drive nowadays, उसके लिए मुझको एक सर्वर बनाना पड़ता था, पब्लिकली अवेलेबल एक सर्वर बनाना पड़ता था जिसको आप लोग सारे एक्सेस कर पाते थे, वहां से डॉक्यूमेंट वगैरह. अगेन दिस एग्जांपल वन नोट, ये वन नोट आई एम शेयरिंग इट विथ यू यूजिंग वन ड्राइव, right? So replacing some of your application to a ready-made SaaS platform, software as a service वाला platform, जिसमें Azure के पास already उस type की एक service है. You don't have to do anything. बस आप यहाँ पर आ जाओ और use करना शुरू कर दो.
Okay, got it.
Got it, guys?
Yes. So
Yes,
we will be
any-
just using that software as a service from
Yes,
Azure.
yes,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yes, guys. Any doubt, any questions again? Anyone else? Okay, if not, let's take a break. I'll see you guys in 5 or 6 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll prepare the machine. Let's see you guys in 6 minutes. It's 14:48 now, so 55. Let's join using the same link in 7 minutes. I'm stopping the session now.
Okay.